Do you feel like your brand looks and sounds just like everyone else's? Keep watching, because by the end of this video you'll know how to use AI to create a brand voice, colours and content that feel like you, so your business actually stands out more and connects with the right people. Now before we get started, can I ask one small favour? If you like what I do here, can you please hit the subscribe button? That keeps me energised to bring you more content. Thank you very much. Let's get into it. Okay, let's begin with tip number 1, which is to use AI to create a brand personality that feels like you. Now, I recommend you stop looking for your own brand voice in someone else's Instagram feed. You can actually ask ChatGPT with the free version, or Claude.ai, to actually study a page of your own writing, your texts to your friends, and even the way you post content on Facebook. And it'll tell you 3 traits that your tone naturally has. Now, one of my students, Maya, actually did this, and the AI actually told her, "You sound warm, bold and a little bit cheeky." Now that was the moment that she stopped copying other brands and started owning her natural style. And she told me that when she told me that her audience finally heard her instead of a generic brand. Now you can actually do something else for fun as well. You can actually ask an AI tool like Perplexity, so go to perplexity.ai, to write a short story where your brand is a character who actually walks into a room. Now this sounds a bit silly, but when you actually hear how AI describes your brand as a person, you suddenly understand the vibe that you want people to actually feel. Now, when Alex, one of my students, actually did this, his brand went from safe and polite to that cool friend who always has an idea. And people started sharing his posts much more because it finally felt more humanized. Now, if you want to make your brand stand out fast, you can use an AI tool like Copy.ai or Jasper to generate a list of, say, 20 different phrases that sound exactly like the way you talk when you're actually texting a close friend. Then just copy these phrases into your content plan so your posts stop sounding less robotic. Now this is a game changer, because people don't engage with brands as much as you think. They actually engage with people behind the brands. This makes them feel more alive. Now I suggest that you don't try to sound too professional all the time. You want to let your quirks show here and there. For example, Maya added a running joke about her love for iced coffee into her brand voice after AI pulled that from her personal texts. And guess what? Her DMs started becoming more engaging and full of coffee emojis from her community. So that's how a personal touch actually creates connection. Now a smart way for you to actually avoid blank page panic is to create a brand tone cheat sheet using AI. You can literally ask ChatGPT to write down, here's how I introduce myself, here's how I say thank you, and here's how I invite people to a webinar. So there's a simple prompt that you can model. Now one of my students prints this cheat sheet and keeps it by their laptop so every post feels more consistent. Now don't forget, you also want to study how brands you admire actually speak and communicate as well. So you want to go to their websites, paste a few of their paragraphs into ChatGPT, and then just say, show me why this voice connects with people. So that's the question you want to ask the AI. And AI will actually show you patterns, for example, that they might sound playful or even rebellious. And then you can just adapt that style in a way that's true to you. Now, if you've been feeling a bit invisible online, the thing that you can do right now is let AI analyze 3 of your favorite photos and describe what they actually say about you. Those 3 words will become your brand's emotional vibe. It's a super easy trick, and it makes sure your online presence really matches who you really are offline. Now, I've put together some free training resources to help you build an online income stream using AI. Go and click the link below in the description to learn more. Now back to the video. Let's now move on to tip number 2, which is to use AI for colours, fonts and visual style that feel like your brand. Now I recommend that you don't just pick colours just because they're pretty or they look good. Now you can actually use a free tool like coolors.co, so go to coolors.co, so that's the tool, or even Canva's colour palette generator, and you can just upload a photo that actually represents your dream vibe, and it will actually pull the colours that feel just like you. Now when Julia, one of my students, uploaded a photo of her kitchen sunlight, she actually realised warm gold and light sage green felt really good for her brand. instead of the black and white that she actually had been using. Now, I also suggest that you try Midjourney if you're actually open to learning Discord, or even DALL-E, which is built right into ChatGPT Plus. I recommend you take a look at those to actually generate a brand mood board. Now you can just type something like calm, modern, friendly brand colours, something like that, and you'll instantly see what the vibe looks like visually. Now, seeing this really helps you know whether your brand feels right before you waste any time guessing. Now you can actually use Canva, so go to canva.com to test different fonts and colour combinations directly on mock-up posts before you even decide. Now this really does matter because around 95% of your audience will see your content and your branding on a small phone screen first. Now, when Lucas, one of my students, swapped out a fancy cursor font for a simple bold sans serif font, people stopped skipping his content because they could finally read them more easily. Now, the thing that you want to remember is this: that a logo isn't a brand. So instead of overthinking your logos, I suggest you ask AI tools like looker.com or even brandmark.io to actually create 10 simple logo options. And you'll notice something very quickly: the simpler they are, the more modern they actually look. Now, if you have been wasting time making posts look designed, just stop doing this. AI tools like Kittle, so go to kittl.com, or even Canva's Magic Design can actually take your colours and your fonts and give you some post templates quickly. This is how you keep everything looking really consistent with almost no effort. Now, a smart way for you to create a really polished and professional aesthetic is to make one single template set inside Canva and just use it over and over again. This way you get some brand consistency. Now, people think this looks repetitive, but the truth is that your audience loves seeing things that feel familiar. That consistency will really help to build your brand. Now, this is how Julia made her Instagram look like it belonged to a professional brand. So don't forget to save your color hex codes and font names somewhere really easy for you to actually use in the future. Every time you post or create something new, just copy from that list. It just takes a few seconds, and it's the difference between looking amateur and looking more put together as a brand. Let's now move on to tip number 3, which is to use AI to brainstorm brand names and taglines that people remember. Now, I recommend you forget the myth that your brand name has to be clever. It really doesn't. The best names are very easy to say, easy to spell, and emotionally sticky. Now, you want to go to namelix.com, so that's NAMELIX.com, which is AI powered, and type in keywords that describe the feelings that you want your audience to have and not what you actually sell. Now, when Danny, one of my students, actually did this for her personal training business, she got Rise With Me as a name. Now, people remember that really instantly. Now, you can also use ChatGPT to create names based on how your ideal clients want to feel. So you can just type in, give me 30 brand names for a skincare business that makes people feel calm and confident. So there's an example prompt you can use. And suddenly the names aren't about soap, they're about the transformation people will get. Now, a smart way for you to actually make sure your name isn't taken is to use namechecker.com, so that's NAMECHECKR.com, right after you shortlist a few names that you like. This website checks all the social media handles and domains so you don't accidentally build a name that you can't actually use. Now, I also suggest that you ask ChatGPT to explain why each name really works. When you see the psychology, you'll be able to pick the one that really pulls at emotions instead of just sounding trendy. Now, you don't want to overthink your taglines either. You can actually ask AI to come up with, say, 50 short, simple lines that promise a result or an outcome. Now, when I helped Brian, one of my students, we found Move More, Hurt Less for his online fitness program. Now, that tagline now lives on his website and his Instagram everywhere. So that really worked well for his branding. Now, let me give you an example of how powerful this really is. Now, Danny used AI to combine her name, Rise With Me, with the tagline, Stronger Together, one day at a time. Now, it was so clear and warm that people started using the tagline when they introduced her brand to her friends. So don't forget that a name doesn't have to be perfect from day one. You can always test it with AI by saying, rewrite my bio using this name and tagline. So So there's another prompt you can use, and just see how it feels in a sentence. If it feels natural, then you've found it. Let's now move on to tip number 4, which is to use AI to make content that builds your brand faster. Now you can boost your visibility by using ChatGPT to brainstorm say 30 post ideas, and this will take around 10 minutes. Just say to the AI, give me 30 content ideas that help busy mothers feel more in control of their time. So there's the prompt you can use, and suddenly your content calendar will really fill up. Now when Sam, one of my students, did this, he went from posting very randomly to posting with some purpose, and people really started to notice. Now if you want your content to sound more like you, then just upload your old posts or your emails into a tool like Jasper or Copy.ai. It learns your tone and rewrites posts as if you wrote them yourself. Now this is how Emily, one of my students, who swore she wasn't a writer, started creating posts that people were saving and sharing more. The key thing is to create a monthly content plan using Notion, so go to notion.so or even Trello. And AI can actually organize your ideas into categories so every post has a place. It's like someone cleaning up your brain. Now you want to make sure that you take one 5-minute talking video and feed it into Opus Clip, opus.pro. This tool lets you cut it into 10 short vertical clips. That's now 10 days of content from just one video. Now you're suddenly everywhere without being online all the time. So this is called repurposing. Now don't forget that people share posts that speak to their fears and their dreams and their frustrations. So you want to ask the AI to turn every tip that you share into a simple 1-sentence takeaway. So just use that one simple prompt. Put that line at the top of your post as a hook or as a unique angle, and just watch how much more people engage with your content. Now if your biggest pain is actually staring at a blank screen, then use an AI tool like Typefully. So go to typefully.com to actually auto schedule a week's worth of posts. You just write them once and let the tool handle the rest for you, and free up your brain to actually focus on the real work that gets you results. Now I suggest that you also ask AI to create content buckets that fit your brand personality. For example, you can have behind the scenes, personal stories, just tips and advice, and even mini rants. Now you can actually rotate these buckets so your content always feels fresh and never random. Let me now give you tip number 5, which is to use AI to understand your audience on a level that feels like you're reading their mind. Now I suggest that you stop guessing what your audience actually wants and start doing some real research using tools like answerthepublic.com and also asked.com. You just type in a topic like freelance graphic design or even wellness for busy mums, and these websites can show you the exact questions that people are already asking on Google and online. Now when Sophie, one of my students, actually tried this for her handmade skincare business, she realised that people were obsessing over safe products during pregnancy. So she shifted her messaging, and her Instagram comments instantly became much deeper and more personal because she finally addressed their actual worries instead of just listing some ingredients. Now the key thing you want to do with AI is to actually ask ChatGPT to act like a focus group for your audience. For example, you can paste in 10 customer reviews, even from your competitors on Amazon or Etsy, and just ask the AI, what are these people secretly frustrated about? So there's the question you can ask the AI, and you'll be shocked how often the answer is emotional and not logical. Now one of my students, Carlos, actually discovered his coaching clients weren't looking for productivity. They wanted to actually feel like they weren't falling behind their peers. Now that single insight actually changed the words that he used on his website and gave people the courage to actually reach out to him. Now make sure you try sparktoro.com. The free version is enough to get started because it literally shows you where your audience hangs out online. So this is super useful, and you can actually find what podcasts they listen to, which YouTube channels they actually follow, and even the hashtags that they actually use in their content. It's like eavesdropping on your dream clients' online habits. Now just imagine how different your content will feel when you talk to them where they already are. Now a smart way for you to dig even deeper is to actually record a quick 5-minute audio on your phone talking about your dream client as if they're a friend. Then you can just upload that to a tool like otter.ai to transcribe it, and then just paste it into ChatGPT and say the following. Summarize their top fears, their daily struggles, and what they really want. So that's the prompt you can use with the AI. And you'll see it in written out so clearly that you'll feel like you know them better than they already know themselves. Now this makes writing content so much easier because you'll never feel like you're guessing anymore. Now make sure you don't forget that the goal isn't to sound too smart, it's to sound like you actually understand and get them. Now when Sophie changed the way she wrote Instagram captions, after the AI helped her hear the exact language that her audience was using, people began replying with, "This is exactly how I feel. How did you actually know?" So her engagement really went up and got more personal. Now that level of resonance makes people trust you before they even buy anything from you. Now let me tell you something else. If you want to speed this up even more, just ask AI to analyze Reddit threads or even Facebook groups that your audience is actually using. Just copy a few posts and paste them into ChatGPT and say the following. Give me the hidden emotions in these posts. So there's the question or the prompt you can ask. And you will start to see patterns of frustration, excitement, and even hope that most brands completely ignore. Now when Carlos actually did this, he realized all his clients wanted to feel much more seen at work. So he started using that phrase everywhere, and his content started hitting home immediately with his audience. Now an easy way for you to act on this today is to write down 3 emotional pain points or struggles that AI actually uncovers and build your next 3 posts based around them. For example, if your people say, "I feel stuck," make one post about what to do when you feel stuck. Another post can be why feeling stuck means something good is about to happen. And the third can be the easiest way to get unstuck in 10 minutes. So there's 3 examples you can use. And suddenly your brand becomes the friend who always says the thing they need to hear at the right moment. Let's now move on to tip number 6, which is to use AI to turn your random content into a signature brand style. Now, I recommend you stop posting random graphics and captions and instead use AI tools to lock in a style that becomes you, so people can spot it a mile away. Now you can actually start with a free tool like coolors.co, so that's COOLORS.co, to generate colour palettes that actually feel like your personality. Then you just need to upload those colours into Canva so that everything you create automatically looks more consistent. Now when James, one of my students, started doing this for his small fitness coaching business, he went from posting all over the place with very dull colours to choosing a vibrant orange and a navy palette. And within just 4 weeks, people started saying, "I always know when a post is from you because your colours really pop out in my feed." Now the thing that you can do next is use ChatGPT or even Claude to build your brand voice guide by pasting in, say, 5 pieces of your best content and just asking the AI, what's the tone here and how can I make it sound more confident but still approachable? So that's the question you can ask, and AI will break it down for you. Then you can just use those same instructions every time you ask it to write captions, emails, or even scripts. Now Emma, one of my students, used this simple trick with her handmade candle business, and her sales emails suddenly felt more warm, funny, and even more memorable instead of stiff and awkward. People started replying to her emails, and that was before they even bought anything. Now if you want to take it a bit further, there's a site called looka.com, LOOKA.com, that actually lets you create a custom logo in just a few minutes. And you can pair that with kittle.com, so that's KITTL.com, for some unique fonts, and suddenly your entire visual identity feels much more professional without spending hours or thousands on a designer. Now once you have these pieces in place, you can just upload your style elements into Notion or even Milanote, MILANOTE, so that they're always just one click away. Now this small system means you stop reinventing the wheel every time you post, and it just makes your whole brand feel much more intentional, even if you're still a one-person show. Now you want to make sure that you also experiment with Descript.com for video and even CapCut for social media reels, which you can use for free, because these apps actually let you quickly add your colours, your logos, and even your captions automatically, so even your videos feel more on brand. Now this is one of those things that most small businesses actually ignore. They think that branding is just a logo, and it is a lot more than that. But branding is how you actually show up everywhere, even in motion. Now when James actually applied his new orange and navy colour palette to his workout videos using Descript for his videos, his watch time actually went up because the content felt much more polished and professional. That viewers actually thought this guy takes his business very seriously, so you can do something along those lines as well. Wow, that's it for this video. Now, if you're serious about building your online business and creating a sustainable online income, take the next step now. Click the link below in the description or in the comments and go through to my website, where you can find some free training resources to help you get started right away. These free step-by-step resources are designed to guide you through launching a successful online business and generating online income streams. So don't wait, take action today. Click the link below and start your journey right now. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. It really does energize and motivate me to create more content for you. Thank you very much indeed. And if you want to connect on social, you can find me on LinkedIn and Instagram. The links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching and supporting the channel, and have a wonderful day.